All right, welcome back to GQueer, everybody. Happy Halloween as well. What's up? My name is Jaxler, as Sawa said, and this is going to be Frogmonster. If you've never seen this game before, this is a 3D Metroidvania FPS. Yes, you in fact are a frog with a gun. My pitch to people with this game is it's like, imagine if Metroid Prime had Dark Souls bosses, and like all of them were really cool. And so, yeah, this game has a really cool run. It's also really, really just a hard video game. So hopefully by the end of this run, you'll kind of see what I'm talking about, and maybe I'll convince you to give it a shot yourself. But speaking of people I want to give this game a shot, I have a friend joining me on the couch if you'd like to introduce yourself.
Hi, everybody. I'm carrarium. I have never played this game, but I did see it while we were, me and the games committee were putting together the schedule, and I was immediately hooked on the concept of you are a frog with a gun. So I'm very excited to be here.
Yeah, so there's been a lot of new stuff that has made this run even more difficult lately. So Garrity's going to be kind of my sanity check, making sure I don't get too in my own head here. But before we actually get into the run, I just want to illustrate a brief mechanic because sometimes the early game split can be a little chaotic. This game has a really unique alt fire where when you right click, it sticks out your tongue, and you can use that to actually eat critters and bugs, frogs, fish in the environment, and they'll give you different effects and stuff. And so at the very start of the run, I'm going to be potentially shut up randomly at random points, trying to look for bugs that I want to eat that we'll need later. So sometimes they'll make specific sounds in my ears and I'll need to listen for them in advance. But yeah, this is going to be the unrestricted run, meaning any and all glitches are on the table. We're also going to be doing this on classic difficulty, which is kind of the harder mode, but the default. It's faster as well because enemies will move towards us faster, which means they move into range of my shotgun faster. So harder you make this game, the faster it goes. It's one of those kinds of things, right?
Oh, good.
Yeah, exactly. I will quit stalling though. So time is gonna start the moment I press confirm on this new file. So I'll start counting from 3 and we'll start timer on go. 3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck.
Thank you. So start of the game, again, this is kind of a Metroidvania style situation, so we don't really have much on us, except in a moment our alt fire of a tongue, as well as the 6-shot pistol that doesn't do a lot of damage but has infinite ammo. We'll be getting another gun in this area pretty shortly. But I mentioned before the start of the run, I'm looking for some critters. There's 3 in particular I want. I want this frog right here. That one's pretty easy. And then that dragonfly, I could have gotten that one right there, but I'm going to wait for a better opportunity. And we want that fly that's flying around right there too. When I eat that fly, if I can see which way he went. Thank you, game. After I eat him, he gives me a temporary reload speed increase. You can kind of see that fly icon with the ticker right there. Getting that fly right there in a good position saves about 8 seconds on that first ambush fight. Just because it takes forever to reload the pistol because it's bullet by bullet. And then we're going to go equip some bugs. So similar to the notch system in Hollow Knight, after you get a bug for the first time, you can unlock it as an equipable. And I'm going to try to grab... Oh, he flew away. I really want a dragonfly too for later, but they're very annoying to track down. So that's actually one of the reasons I equipped that frog, is it makes about doubles the reach of my tongue. There we go. That was pretty decent. And then we also equipped fly for a passive reload speed increase. We're also going to get our first spell here. Spells take a variable amount of mana, but they do a lot of damage. And depending on the spell and how much damage you deal, you'll return a portion of that HP back to you. So it's kind of this interesting loop of killing enemies that give you mana, which you can then spend to heal, kill more enemies. Really, really kind of addicting little gameplay loop right there. So you're going to kind of notice in that fight especially, everything looked kind of premeditated. We'll talk about how the ambush mob spawning works a bit later, but that's going to be a big theme of this run, is that for the most part, if you do things the same way every time, with the exception of some bosses, they will operate the same way every time and spawn the same way every time. So this is our first boss. His name's Groth. He has this attack he likes to do where he sticks his head out, but his head, if I shoot it, you'll see that red hit marker, which is a critical hit point. It's 14, that's actually pretty solid. And yeah, he's already dead. So as you see, the shotgun is probably the most broken weapon in the game. Actually, not even probably, it just is the most broken weapon in the game. It's pretty often to get ammo for it, and it just does a boatload of damage if you build around it, and that's what we're going to do in the speedrun in a bit. But now that we're done with our first boss here, we're going to be coming up on the first major skip of the run. I'm actually going to go ahead and grab a checkpoint in case I miss this. We're going to be doing something called Mushroom Gorge Skip, where we're going to be attempting to skip most of this area called Marvin's Domain and get right to our buddy Marvin to go do our second boss fight. It's pretty tricky, so it's going to just look like a bunch of pretty simple parkour, but it's a lot harder than it looks, so I'm going to shut up for a second. Yeah, baby, there we go. Okay, so the jumping in this game is pretty floaty and bouncy, so if you hit the wrong geometry the right way, you'll just get flung off right there. So I hit that checkpoint right there, very important step for later. I quit and reload as well, because whenever you reload a save file, it kind of puts you at a default level of ammo for every weapon you have. And I used all my shotgun on Groth, so that lets me get a bunch of ammo for free going into this Marvin boss fight. So Marvin coming up here in this first part of the fight has 3 attacks they'll do. He'll always start with this launching of spores. We call that the Mario attack because when the spores fall, they'll summon mushroom enemies. And then there's also what I call the coconut gun and the Kirby. This is the Kirby. The Kirby unlocks kind of his critical hit point, and then I call that the coconut gun. So
because it fires in
but
spurts.
we want it exactly.
Of course.
And so the first spores phase is guaranteed, but after that it's pretty random. He's been generally pretty nice to us. The reason you might see me wait around for some spores is because that's the only thing that can give me shotgun ammo here. And so I kind of held back on shooting my spells there, because if I shoot at least one fireball there and then use my remaining shotgun ammo, I can actually skip his second phase attack, and that's Marvin just like that. You can just do enough DPS there to just flatten him. It's a really fun setup. It's worth noting as well that you're intended to get another weapon on your way through here called the machine gun, but I'm saving it for later because if you don't have it, the game will only drop shotgun ammo, which is way, way faster and enables kind of that cheese strat on the third phase. But we're going to have dash now. We get a dash now, which is dope. Generally, I'm going to be dashing midair whenever possible because friction's pretty high in this game, so by holding down jump, I can buffer a jump and make it so that I don't lose as much speed here. And then we've got a really cool arena fight that I've kind of come up with you'll see as well a little bit of me just kind of throwing fireballs out into the ether, and then it'll kill something that's either going to walk into it or on its way to spawn. And then, that ending to that fight is one of my favorites. I came up with that kind of setup not too long ago. I was hinting at that to Carrie. I was like, I can't wait for you to see that.
That was wild.
All right, so coming up, we have the easiest trick in the game, back to back with the hardest trick in the game. So there's supposed to be an ambush in that room, but if you buffer a jump as you land, it doesn't trigger the fight right away, so you can just dash over the trigger and leave. And now this is by far the part I'm the most nervous for. This is what's called a lag backslide. I'm going to be attempting to clip through a door that's normally supposed to be like a exit for return trips, but I'm going to set the game to 30 FPS and kind of hold some weird camera angles and essentially do like a Mega Man style zip through this door actor. All right, I'm going to shut up just for a little bit just because nerves. It's very, very finicky and not always up to my control. I really want to try to hit this, but if we can't, we'll just go fight the boss instead. That's the alternative.
I believe.
Come on, game. Oh, that almost worked, but unfortunately, I have to turn my camera in a very specific way once I kind of get lodged into the door a little. I was a little early. Right, come on, Jax, you got this. That would have worked, but yeah, you have to do this really quick, otherwise the door shoots you out, like a rag doll. Oh my god, the nerves are not helping here. My hand's shaking a little bit, but like I said, if I can't get this, no worries.
But a few donations help. Awesome.
That would help.
Yeah. We have some donations. We also have some good news. The super boss incentive has been met, so we'll be seeing that after this run. So.
Oh, we got it. Let's go. Good call, Carrie. Good call. Oh my goodness. Thank you for meeting the incentive, everybody. So we got a little bit now here actually while I'm just doing some backtracking. So if you want to tell us how we got there, let me know.
Thank you all for donating towards that super boss incentive, $1,500, all going towards a great cause, and help you guys get there is a $25 anonymous donation who's very excited to see you. Go Jaxler, always so entertaining to watch your runs. Thank you for all the positive energy. Go trans rights, less than 3. Also have a $5 donation from Cheshire Tales to Let's Get the Soup, and a $50 donation from Blake S that simply says less than 3.
Thank you all so much. So after we got, doing that skip right there allowed me to skip the third boss of the game, Long Beast. And in doing so, I got Sticky Hands, which is kind of the Metroidvania upgrade I need to get to kind of what I would call kind of like the main overworld, for lack of a better term. But in doing so, I actually set up my checkpoint in such a way where when I quit and reloaded, it actually took me back to Marvin's Domain. Typically, the trip from Outskirts into Marvin's Domain is from Marvin's Domain is a one-way trip. But by doing that checkpoint warp, it allows me to skip another boss on top of that. All right, so this is Yellow Forest. We're gonna get introduced to some birds that when I eat them, sorry birds, I know eating birds isn't really that nice, but they allow me like these instant dash refreshes while I'm here in Yellow Forest. And now we're gonna do some arena skips. So lining myself up and doing a dash jump there, and there's a very tight line there to be able to squeeze through kind of like the fight trigger. That's the harder of the two. There's gonna be another one we do here in a moment that's a bit easier, but doing it fast I'm actually gonna go back and hit that checkpoint because I don't believe in myself. So there's gonna be that leaf bug I picked up will basically cause my next shotgun. I'll just let you see it for yourself. Goodbye.
No.
He's fine. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
That's the second one right there. Nice. Okay, and we grab a chest right there. You've been seeing I've been picking up a lot of chests along the way. This is for stuff I'm going to sell for later to make our money route work. We'll talk about what we're buying a bit later. Right here, we just skipped another boss. That has been in the game since day one and is so easy to do and just so silly looking that the dev actually did not patch it. And there's an extra line of dialogue now there on current patch. It's like, hey, you're not supposed to do that. That's cheating. But doesn't stop us from doing that, which is really funny.
I love self-aware devs.
Shout outs to the dev of this game. I'll sing his praises a lot over the course of this, I'm sure. But Green Sea has some really cool mob fights here with these explosive, like puffer fish, for lack of a better term, that I can actually blow up with my long-range spellcast in order to kill a bunch of enemies for me. I missed that one too. That's weird. Okay. And for this last one right here, I'm gonna wait a little bit, proc the explosion, and there's gonna be one more on his way. He dies, that's the end of the fight, just like that. And so we're gonna be doing a little bit of swimming here, and then I'm gonna be kind of turning in. I've been collecting a lot of smooth stones, some square rocks, and there'll be a couple more I get along the way, but this is all kind of just to amass a bunch of money. I mentioned earlier kind of like the equip system for like the charm notch slots. We're saving up to not only buy an extra one of those to make our build better, but we're also gonna use that to buy a new spell called Beans. And Beans combined with another bug we picked up is extremely broken. And so that's why we go out of our way to get all of this money here. So I'm gonna be kind of going through some menuing here while I kind of go and distribute these weird treasures and relics to some, this is Dort, by the way. He just knows I have that smooth stone on me. But while I'm kind of doing this shopping trip, Sawa, if you have anything you'd like to share with us, that would be a good time.
Yeah, absolutely. We actually have, now that we have met the super boss incentive, and we're going to be seeing that at the very end of this run, we have another incentive open to play World 7 for Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. That adds a brutal bonus world with 3 levels, including the hardest in the game. That's going to be $2,000 by the end of that run. So chat, you have another incentive to donate for. Get those donations in. I know we can hit that 2K. And helping us is a few donations that went towards earlier incentives. We have a $200 anonymous donation with no comment, thank you. A $10 anonymous, no comment. $5 anonymous with no comment. Thank you all for supporting a great cause.
All right, we're heading up to the jungle now. We pretty much need one more Metroidvania upgrade before we have everything we need to not soft lock going into the final boss, which will be Tongue Swing. But coming up soon, once I get to the checkpoint after this kind of climbing parkour section, we're going to need to start talking about Bridge Frog strats. So this is a very recent development I've kind of started working on because I was kind of plateauing a bit with my times, and I was looking at new ways to potentially optimize. And so I mentioned that the equip system is kind of like Hollow Knights, right? And it also kind of has something similar to Overcharming, where if you equip that bridge frog I picked up in the city, it gives you 3 additional equipment slots at the cost of taking double damage. And so I'm going to attempt to go for some of that during this run. Because it makes some of the fights just really flashy and clean, and also just it saves a ton of time. So I'll probably give a bunch of these fights max 1 or 2 tries. A big reason why this is going to save me so much time in this arena and upcoming is with our good friend Leafbug that we picked up in the Yellow Forest. Gotta be a little careful here. I don't know why you're still alive. See what I mean? You just die. We'll give that one another go. I got really unlucky with some of my bullets hitting the ground there. But basically, Leafbug gives you a % chance to shoot extra bullets every time you press fire. And with the shotgun in particular, what that means is that every pellet of the shotgun will get doubled if that procs, which is really busted. It does an unbelievable amount of damage. So kind of in the past, you used to have to choose between either picking that or a higher reload speed with the fly equipped. But with the bridge frog, you can do both with the risk of double damage.
This is something that has essentially Jaxler has started doing since I last saw the game. So I have never seen these fights this way before. So you're going to get live commentator reaction during this.
It's really good for this fight in particular. So if you see those yellow bullets, by the way, that means that the effect procced. Any yellow bullets are summoned by that effect from the equipment. So it's really nice for this fight in particular because Chroma does not have a traditional HP bar. You progress the fight by using your bullets to paint new colors onto its wings. And we really want Chroma to go to the top of the arena and spawn some wasp enemies because there we go, because I can kill those. We also, before this fight, equipped another bug called Mantis. I'm just going to play this super safe now that I actually have ammo. And that puts a little guy on top of our head that will shoot at enemies for us. So if I happen to miss one of those guys with a pistol shot, it can kind of come in super handy for me. And then this is the last phase. So now he's going to swap into this, whatever the heck this is. I'm going to, again, play this a little safe. I have no freaking ammo and still not going to give me any. There we go. Okay. So that's the fight, and then I can quit and reload to put me back at the checkpoint. That unlocks Tongue Swing, which means I can grapple off of these grapple points. Along the way here, you're gonna notice as well that I kind of have hack mode on a little bit, which might look funky. How do I want to play this? I was supposed to grab that butterfly, and I really need it. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna get mana off of these enemies, and surely that will be fine. So when you eat that purple butterfly I was going for, it gives you a free spell cast, regardless of how much mana you have, and I really want to cast beans at the start of this fight because it makes it look really cool. Because I can cast beans, kill those two, and then kill the guy right there, hopefully as soon as he spawns in. And then I can kind of manipulate that bull into the tree. Those bulls do an unholy amount of damage even without Bridge Frog in rotation. And I'm kind of being very careful with the order in which I tackle some of these enemies. Because if you pick up mana, when you have mana maxed out, it just still disappears anyway. So you don't want to waste mana, right? Okay, so normally you need a Metroidvania upgraded called Wood Cannon to break these blue cracks in the wall. But I'm going to do another one of those lag backslides where I kind of just wiggle into the wall and I just phase right through it at 30 FPS. That's kind of what the unrestricted category name means, by the way. It just means you can't have your FPS go below 60. All right, this is Rooney. This is kind of the gatekeeper boss before Ridge, which is kind of the big end game area. And that's the first phase already done. I got pretty lucky there. He was nice to me. And then he's gonna have his kind of gimmick in this phase is he'll steal a type of weapon ammo that you have and do an attack based on that weapon. And this also encompasses weapons I haven't unlocked yet. Which this is the attack you want though, because if you can line it up right, you can get him stuck underneath you and just absolutely ruin his life. I'm gonna go for a shotgun shot right there, kind of as the text box is pulling up, and I kind of leverage that in order to ease a little bit. Okay, we got through there. Okay. So now we're gonna go through an individual phase for each of the game's weapons. If you don't have the weapon unlocked, which can be possible just because like some weapons are actually technically optional. Oh, this is a little risky. Some of these phases, oh, I might die here. Nope, we lived, okay.
I was about to say there's no way.
This is the scary one though, because I'm really hoping Mantis helps me out here. Missed my spell cast, but that's fine. Okay. This is the easy one to deal with, because it's just jumping. Nice, okay. And then right after this fight, there's gonna be this door right here, and this door is only supposed to open after you beat, I wanna say 5 of like the 6 or 7 late game bosses in the Ridge. But if I put myself in just the right spot, I'm gonna make sure I get this just right, because if I miss this, I have to redo the fight. This will probably work. Thank God, okay. The door closes on us and we just skip right past it. So I just saved about 30 minutes.
Yeah, there you go.
And so as we're like in the last area of the game now. So that was a bit of a slow Rooney compared to what I'm normally used to. But again, I'm gonna do another quit and reload to kind of refill our ammo, and then some ammo flies will give us full ammo going into this next part. Because Rooney will always just kind of leave you with no ammo at the end. So Myzian's Forest is a giant string of enemy waves and ambushes. So this is going to be another one of those situations where the order in which I kill enemies is very deliberate, because it will affect the timing at which the next ones spawn in. And then again, I don't know if I really mentioned what's going on with beans, right? I think I've alluded to it a couple of times, but I really haven't been the most diligent about it. So what's happening is that with Mushfrog equipped, there's a secret synergy that'll proc with the Beans spell equipped. And in this case, after I cast Beans and have Mushfrog equipped, bullets will home in on enemies for a little bit. With Shotgun and Leaf Bug, that is a unholy combo and makes this game RTA marathon viable. I will put it that way. But there's not too much going on with these fights that I kind of haven't already covered conceptually. So Solid, now would be a great time if you have anything you'd like to add.
Absolutely. So many amazing donations coming in from your community. We have $50 from Grundum Core. Hey Jax, Ruby here. As always, good luck on the run, and shout out to Speedruns Rochester.
Thank you, Ruby.
Also have a $10 donation from Perk. Had to splash some cash over for my pal Jaxler. Happy Halloween, everyone, and let's have a great weekend.
Happy Halloween!
Happy Halloween! We also have a $100 donation from Astral Storm with no comment. Thank you for your generosity.
I should have died there.
The 30-minute...
so that bull deals double damage even without Brit Frog on. I can't believe I'm even alive right now, low-key. Okay, that's gonna give me mana for another fireball. Okay, now that the blue laser eyeball guy is dead, he's the scariest. He can just kind of... You don't have very generous eye frames in this game, so you gotta be real
Those little
careful.
guys look like friends.
Okay.
I love enemies that look like friends.
They're friends until they're not. They're kind of evil. All right, so for the start of this bit, I'm going to like try to shoot him twice, and then I was hoping that he'd die, but unfortunately he didn't. And then again, all these kind of segments here are predetermined. Also, there's spikes everywhere too, if that wasn't bad enough.
Oh, good.
That's kind of the scary part though. And as soon as those spider guys die, that's gonna spawn in this guy. And I'm just gonna again. I'm being very deliberate. I'm trying to enter a lot of these boss fights with full resources. So saving that ammo fly there for last so I can get a refill on shotgun at the very end. And we got through Mysian's Forest deathless on double damage. I'm gonna try this fight once with the Bridge Frog, just once.
All right.
This is probably the hardest part. This is kind of like a remix boss rush of all the bosses you were supposed to see. That's a pretty good one to get first. You see all of them, but the order in which they appear is random. And so because of that, depending on the order in which I receive them, I have to be a bit careful. So this one is a bit based on Lazaro. This is probably one of the easier ones. I'd actually argue this phase is easier than his counterpart as like an actual boss. Because he has a really funny cheese strat that you can do where you can kind of just like loop him around by walking around him, and we're good to go. And so rules still apply here with trying to, okay, we got Bird next. With Mush Frog Beans, this phase becomes extremely quickly to essentially one cycle, and he's done, and that usually gives us a full resource. So you usually want to see Bird after a difficult phase. And this one's Door Crab, so this one's a bit different from his fight in regular game. And so basically kind of the way I'm managing my ammo here is I'm spending it such that I spend all of it, all of the shotgun except for the last bit, so I can avoid having to reload unnecessarily. And so when I'm not using my shotgun, I'm using that machine gun. And then sometimes I can tell when the boss is dead because like the hit markers will disappear. He really did not give me any shotgun ammo, which is unfortunate because I have a name for these two that I can't say on stream. But this is probably the most dangerous fight of the bunch because of the axe guy. His hitboxes are quite frankly unfair and really hard to manipulate. I got a pretty good dodge there. The way you can actually use this, if you're good, use this to generate mana, because every time you lure him into hitting the taller brother with the axe, it will cause him to release mana and also deal damage.
So the brothers can injure each other?
The axe guy can injure the tall guy.
That's hilarious.
Okay. And generally, it's what you want. You want to kill him. Oh, and this is a perfect time to get this phase too. This fight in the game is much more of a parkour boss, and so because of that, I don't actually need to worry about DPS. I just have to get through here. And there's two guaranteed, I call them throat pimples. I know that's a really awful way to call it. I'm sorry. But those give you a free heal when you destroy them, and you're guaranteed two here. So getting this now basically gives me free heals here. So there's 7 phases in total, and I've lost track a little bit, but I am roughly trying to keep track of how many phases deep I'm in. This is Crowbar. This is probably the hardest or second hardest, because there's 2 phases to this phase. There's this part where he likes to shoot at you like this or do the lasers. This attack in particular is like extremely difficult to dash around. And again, because of my HP and the Bridge Frog, I die in 2 hits pretty much.
You're still like overcharmed, right? Technically, this is still double damage. This is ridiculous.
And so in a little bit, once I hit the damage threshold, he's going to split into a bunch of pieces. 2 eyeballs, his beak. And so unfortunately, I didn't get as much, but I want to try to kill the eyeballs first here. That's the plan. Eyeballs are probably the biggest way I can get killed. As long as I move like clockwise around the room here, I will eventually kill him. And then I'm trying not to, once I kill the middle guy, I'm gonna try to either use pistol or machine gun on the spider legs. And then I can kind of jump over him to manipulate him back and forth. I'm gonna go pistol here, just to save. Got some good drops though. And then, this is I think this is the last phase, and this is like a really good one to get last. Because the way he works is you use that tongue grapple thing that I got from defeating Chroma in order to peel those like armor segments off of him. And that, every time you take a piece off, it gets you a lot of mana back. So getting this phase last is actually really lucky, or like close to last. Basically means that I'll have full mana going into the final boss. So, and that's the sound. I got through it first try, damage, no death. That's
so
holy
good.
Crap.
Jack's just too good at the game.
Built different. I love Jaxler.
Oh my god. Now, Don't get me wrong, I took that a little slow just for safety's sake, but this does mean that I have a Beans cast to start off my Zan 2, which means I'll get to go for kind of like the intended record strat there. My Zan 2 is also very difficult, but is a more unique boss fight. He's gonna oscillate between opening with a close range gap closer attack, one of two options there, but they're dodged the same way. And then after that, he has a chance of doing that. I might die here. Yeah, I'm gonna die here. Okay. That's how quickly you can die with Bridge Frog.
Jeez.
Yep. We'll get that because that was so. We're doing good on estimate too, actually. Surprisingly, so we'll give that another go with Bridge Frog. I don't actually need that Beans cast right away, so I can just go for normal DPS here. So let's give this another try. Yeah, he has kind of two projectile attacks he can do there, and he caught me lacking on the hardest one to react to. Okay, so that's the phase transition. I did not mean to get hit by that, as promised. But generally speaking, if I'm at 2 HP, I'm gonna try to cast a spell if it's safe to do so, because that gets me to 3. And because, like, you can essentially think of me as being at, like, 2 health at all times, it basically like lets me tank another hit. Don't worry too much. He's about to transition phases. No, he's not. He lied to me. So mean, but we dodged the attack. Okay, that's the end of the first phase, and I do have a cast going in, which is going to let me cast Beans immediately, get back to that health threshold, and shoot some shotgun shots out. He starts with one of 2 attacks here, and I'm probably going to see every one of his attacks at least once. So again, another one of those things where it's like the order is random and I got to react to it. But I do have, and a lot of these dodge windows are really tight. So if you don't mind bailing me out here while I try to not die, and let me know how we're doing messages-wise, that would be awesome.
Yeah, we have a couple quick rapid fire donations. We have a $100 donation, anonymous, no comment, thank you. Have a $25 donation from Nox, no comment, thank you. And we also have a $15 donation from 404 that simply says Org.
I agree.
Chat, you gotta get your energy out for Jaxler here.
Okay, this is a really good attack to get early as well. He's just gonna kind of summon a bunch of explosive mine critters, and then there's gonna be a gap I can sit in that won't hurt me. I'm getting a lot of good mana cycling here too, which is really helpful transitioning into an aerial attack like this, where it kind of allows me to use the shotgun a bit more effectively from range. Okay, we're in the last phase, and one of the nice things about this, I don't really have any ammo to prove my point quite yet, but one of the nice things about this Bridge Frog build is it allows me, typically we would go Leaf Bug, but no faster reload. And because of that, we'd have to rely on the machine gun to kind of take care of these heads here, which is really slow. But now, thanks to being able to have that reload speed increase to the Bridge Frog, we're out of there. That's it. That's the final boss. All right, second try is really good. And we're gonna come under estimate too, despite the mistakes, which is pretty crazy. I submitted a tight estimate before doing all the Bridge Frog stuff, so just to give you an idea. But time is actually gonna be coming up pretty soon here. There's gonna be some lines of dialogue, and then there will be a frame where it just immediately cuts to credits, and that will be time. So there's gonna be. I didn't even get to talk about the story. Too bad. You're just gonna have to play the game.
You gotta play it.
But time is coming up very soon. A couple more lines of dialogue from our bird friend Melora here. So that's gonna trap my Zan. Get ready and time.
GG.
Oh my God, you lived.
Jeez.
Oh, sweet Jesus Christ. Oh, I can't tell you all how nervous I was going into that. That was sweet. Obviously wish I could have gotten a little luckier. Things would have gone a little better, but that's what I get for risking it all. But we got a 3136 IGT, which is really, really good. My PB's like a 28 flat right now, and record's like a 27, like 4.9 or something like that. So pretty good considering the deaths. Also just goes to show how like powerful the bridge frog buffs can be when you have more equipment on you.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, that was Frogmonster any percent unrestricted. And correct me if I'm wrong, but we also unlocked the super boss incentive as well. So are we ready to go right into that?
Indeed, we are ready to go as soon as you are.
All right, so we're gonna do this on a completed file because quite frankly, this boss is unfair. And to give you an idea of how unfair this boss is, I'm just gonna go ahead right in. We haven't started time on this incentive yet. I just wanna show you how quickly I will die. Okay. So this is Trench. So Trench is normally the guy, every time you beat a boss in this game, he'll like chop up the monster remains and put them in his soup. And after this game was released, Ben, the guy who made this game, created this like sort of like post-game soup gauntlet challenge where it's like 4 individual boss rushes of bosses from that you've already played in the game, but without being able to like save in between, right? And at the end of each one of these, he included a brand new boss post-launch. And the hardest of these 4 is Trench, this guy who's also the guy who's supposed to be helping you the whole game. And so before we actually dive into killing the guy, we're doing this on a 100%ed file. You can see I have 33 hours on this file, mostly just because I use this file a lot for testing and for practicing this incentive. Because you all met the incentive so quickly, for like the first long try or 2, like if I die quickly and then give it a second try, I will try it with Bridge Frog so we have double damage. But I'm only using those extra slots for like an extra HP slot, just to make it fair to me. But to give you, in addition to the stuff we usually use for the speedrun build, we also have another slot in use for something called Fogfly. This gives you a 50% damage buff per shot on the first shot you fire. Ooh. And with the gun upgrades I have, most of the important ones are all single shots. So this is just like a 50% damage buff across the board pretty much. So that's all you're gonna need to know. Trench is evil, so I'm gonna do my best to try to do this with double damage, but I don't know if we're doing a timer for this, but we'll just do it when I hop in the suit. So get ready and go.
Good luck.
Thank you. I'm gonna start out with this wood cannon. It's kind of like this game's BFG. Similar to a lot of the other boss fights, it's one of those things where he will probably do every attack at least once. These coins are very unfair to dodge as well. But after he's done usually once you get a feel for the order in which he's operating this fight, it is random, but it's like you'll then kind of know what's going on. Yeah, like do you see how quickly he immediately attacked after he came off a cooldown? Like this boss is just not fair. It's very, very hard to react, especially to this first phase. And he's gonna go for the side sweep. Called it. All right, that's first phase done. And we're at pretty high HP as well, so there's kind of a transition phase where we're in the soup, cauldron, and he's gonna throw some butter in and get some onions going, sauteed. Those damage you, by the way, so both the butter and the onions. So I gotta, but not a very long phase. This is kind of a transition between phases. And then he's gonna jump in. There's a couple attacks he'll do, and then he's gonna have like boss monster parts floating around that'll fall into the soup. And depending on which one he skewers will indicate what attack he's gonna try to do to me. But this first bit is always pre-planned. He's always gonna do it just like that. And now I react. And I'm using a crossbow upgrade that gives it a slowdown, so I have a little bit more time to react. He might throw that at me. Nope, he's gonna do an easy to react to attack. Awesome. And then I'm trying to cycle through all my weapons to make sure that no ammo goes to waste. And now he's summoned the tail, which is a little dicey. So if I get too close to that tail, it'll hit me, but I can also... Okay, that's a great attack to get.
Did he try to electrocute the soup?
Yes, he did. Yeah, they don't really have air fryers here,
clearly
so
doesn't own an air
this is
fryer.
kind of their...
Clearly.
We're doing pretty good here. Oh, we got it! Shot it! That's in time! Let's go!
Oh my goodness.
Oh,
The
baby!
greatest of all time right here.
Woo! Oh my
man.
god, that I can't emphasize how hard that fight is even without the double damage. Wow. Okay, well that went better than I expected.
I, for once, never doubted in my life.
Well, thank you. I guess
you
I'll
never doubt the Jaxler.
Never.
I want to thank everyone so much for being here. Not only for letting me get to do that in front of you all, that was freaking sweet, but also like I've just been putting a lot of work into this game ever since. I have like I'm approaching 400 hours in this game. It took over my life in the best way possible. So, in the spirit of recognizing that fact, I have a couple of things I'd like to shout out. First of all, I want to shout out Ben Jungworth, aka Frogmonster Dev. He, outside of like the music and a couple other things, made this entire thing pretty much himself from scratch. Custom engine, custom bosses, art. He did like all of that. And like the fact that this game is as cool and awesome as it is for like his first solo indie project is just unfreaking believable. I really hope at this point that I've proven to you how cool and sick this game is, and I hope you all check it out. It's on Steam. Please give this game a play. I also want to give a huge shout outs to Cave as well, who's also been kind of running this game with me since day one and has found a lot of cool like route and like optimization stuff as well. Fortunately, he wasn't able to make it to commentate this run, but really wanted to. So I want to give him a huge shout out for just being the homie. Shout outs to Meta, not SRC Meta, Australian Meta. He's the current world record holder and is also similarly a sicko and just really good at this game and has found some of the stuff I showed you here as well in the more optimized fights. But yeah, please play Frogmonster. If you're interested in seeing more runs of this game or other stuff that you might not have heard of or seen before, you can find me streaming stuff at twitch.tv/Jaxler1. I want to also just kind of give a quick shout out to this event as well as all my Aero Spectrum homies as well. You know, sometimes with events like these are just, I recognize how hard it can feel. It's like you're on the Aero spectrum to feel, you know, like queer enough or like, you know, like how to reconcile that. And if you're someone who's like that, or, you know, I just want you to know that you are queer enough, you belong here, and you're wanted here. And I just want to generally thank the whole speedrunning community for helping me to realize that, because I think without the speedrunning community, I wouldn't have had the language to understand my own identity. So huge shout outs to this whole freaking community. I'm so happy to be here and to represent. And shout outs to Carrie as well for keeping me sane during this. What a fun time this was.
One of the few times someone says that about me.
I strongly disagree. But yeah, that's going to be
carrarium, keeping people sane.
Game recognizing game, I suppose. I don't know. But that's going to be it for me, everybody. We've got a ton of really awesome runs coming up. Make sure you keep the train going. We've got to see that World 7 incentive for DKC Tropical Freeze. You don't want to see that get missed. But yeah, enjoy the rest of the event this weekend, and happy Halloween. See you, everybody.